Hello everyone. Joseph Poon and Therias Dreja have first come up with the idea of Lightning Network that address the scalability issue of Bitcoin blockchain. Today I will present this white paper on Lightning Network titled as the Bitcoin Lightning Network Scalable Off-Chain Instant Payments. At first, I will discuss some problems in Bitcoin blockchain and payment channels for which it is not possible to support unlimited number of transactions. Then I will talk about the proposed solution in this paper. After that, I will go through the design of that proposed solutions. So let's talk about the problem in Bitcoin blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain is a great platform to record the transactions without any trusted intermediaries, but it can't cover the world's commerce, at least with current design. There are two reasons behind that. First, the transaction rate is slow, as for example it can support only 7 transactions per second, 220 million per year, and requires 10 minutes to mine a block on average. On the other hand, suppose for example Visa, it handles 47,000 transactions per second during 2013 holidays. So if we want to support this transaction rate using Bitcoin blockchain, then we need to mine 8 GB block in every 10 minutes, and that will need 400 terabyte of blockchain size per year. And that is the second problem, the blockchain size. The current blockchain size is 160 GB. So if we want to support infinite number of transactions using blockchain, then the size of blockchain will grow bigger and bigger. Like the example of Visa, it needs 400 terabyte of blockchain size per year. Clearly, no home computers have this much storage. In that case, only computers with higher storage and processing capability will have the ability to mine the blocks. But that will make the Bitcoin mining extreme centralized. So it is impossible to support all electronic payments by Bitcoin blockchain. So to solve those issues in blockchain, the idea of payment channel is developed, where two users can create a channel and make multiple transactions without committing all the transactions to the blockchain. But there is still problems with payment channel. It needs to open a new channel with every new recipient. Suppose there is a user A. If he wants to make transactions with other users, say B, C, and D, then A needs to open a new channel with B, C, and D separately. And with a new channel, two transactions are needed to broadcast on the blockchain. One to open a channel and another one to close a channel. For such an example, if 7 billion people creates only 2 channels per year, then it will require 133 megabyte blocks to be mined. every 10 minutes, resulting 6.99 terabyte per year. Clearly, payment channels can support unlimited number of transactions. That's why the authors in this paper have proposed a network of payment channels, which they call a Lightning Network. In Lightning Network, there is no need to open a new channel with every recipient. If there is a route between the sender and receiver with intermediate nodes in between, then the sender will be able to send funds to receiver without creating any new channel. Here, there are 4 nodes A, B, C, and D. A has a channel open with B, B has a channel open with C, and C has a channel open with D. This creates a route A, B, C, D. So when A wants to send some funds to D using the route ABCD, it can send that without creating a new channel with D. Now we'll discuss how the bidirectional payment channel is created. For example, between A and B, how this channel is created. Then we will show how A can send funds to D using the intermediary nodes B and C without creating a new channel with D. Well, for creating a bidirectional channel, A and B put some funds as input into the funding transaction. Suppose for this case, A is putting 0.6 Bitcoin and B is giving 0.4 Bitcoin, but they don't sign the funding transaction because at the time of exchanging the signature for funding transaction, if one party is uncooperative, then the funds will be locked up forever. For example, suppose A and B create the funding transaction with 0.6 and 0.4 Bitcoin respectively as input. Then if A signs the funding transactions, gives it to B, and B becomes uncooperative, then B can refuse to sign the funding transaction and return it to A. So A will be unable to broadcast this funding transaction into the blockchain, and he can't spend this 0.6 Bitcoin anywhere else. So his 0.6 Bitcoin will be locked up forever. So from the funding transaction, they create a output which is called 2 of 2 multi-sig address. In 2 of 2 multi-sig address, both signatures of A and B are needed to spend the funds. And after that, they create a commitment transaction whose input is 2 of 2 multi-signature address and output is conditional transaction. This conditional transactions satisfy the condition that if one party does not cooperate, then other can redeem his money. At first, they exchange the signature for these conditional transactions. Then they exchange the signature for commitment transactions, and after that they exchange the signature for Funding transactions. When one party has the signature of other party, then they can broadcast that transaction into the blockchain. So when A and B are exchanging the signature for funding transaction, they have already the signature of other party for rest of the transactions. Thus, if any party doesn't cooperate, then the other party can broadcast the commitment transaction and redeem his portion of money. Now, the details of commitment transactions. This is the commitment transactions of A named CM, which has two output RSMC A and B 0.6 Bitcoin and B 0.4 Bitcoin. Here, revocable delivery transactions and delivery transactions are conditional transactions. If CA is broadcasted by A, then B can get his 0.4 Bitcoin immediately, which is stated in delivery transaction A. But for A, he needs to wait for 1000 blocks from CS mined block. This condition is RSMC, revocable sequence maturity contract. Here 1000 block is just an example. A and B can set their own waiting time. The reason of this 1000 blocks waiting time is that both A and B will be able to revoke the commitment transaction in the future and close out the channel. Commitment transaction of B describes the similar condition for B when B will broadcast his commitment transaction CB. After this channel creation, new commitment transaction is created each time to send funds from A to B or B to A. But when a node have multiple commitment transactions, he may want to broadcast the commitment transaction where he has more funds. Suppose A has two commitment transactions 1 and commitment transaction 2. So if he is dishonest, then he may want to broadcast commitment transaction 1 to the blockchain and get 0.6 Bitcoin, where commitment transaction 2 presents the current balance of A. So to prevent this, another transaction is created, which is called breach remedy transaction. This transaction is created before the creation of commitment transaction 2. According to the breach remedy transaction, if A broadcasts commitment transaction 1, then that 0.6 Bitcoin of A will be provided to B immediately as a penalty. Well, we have discussed the channel creation process and conditions for further commitment transactions in bidirectional payment channel so far. And now we will talk about Lightning Network, how A can send money to B without creating any new channel with D. For example, suppose A wants to send 0 0.1 Bitcoin to D, and the route is ABCD, where A has a bidirectional payment channel open with B, B has with C, and C has with D. So at first D will create a hash H from random data R and send it to A. After that, A will send H to B and create a condition that is called HTLC, hashed time locked contract. According to this condition, if B can produce R from H within 3 days and give this back to A, then A will bound to give 0.1 Bitcoin to B. If B is failed to produce R within 3 days, then that 0.1 Bitcoin will be refunded back to A. Here a 3-day time lock is just an example. A and B can set their own time limits. So after that, B will create same HTLC condition with C, but now the timing limit is 2 days. Again, C will create a similar HTLC contract with D with 1 day time limit. So when D will hand over that R to C, then C will give 0.1 Bitcoin to D. Similarly, when C will give R to B, then B will give 0.1 Bitcoin to C. Following the same process, B will receive 0.1 Bitcoin from A. So that's how A can send 0.1 Bitcoin to D without creating any new channel with D. That's the Lightning Network. But in Lightning Network there is limitations that though a Lightning Network can minimize the rate of broadcasting transactions into the blockchain, but still if any party is uncooperative, then other party needs to broadcast transaction into the blockchain to redeem his money and close out the channel. Okay, so that's it. That's the